Okay, welcome to the Lenox Selectboard meeting. It's our regular meeting for Wednesday, March 13th. In recording, we have CTSB and Mr. Fanto from the Berkshire Eagle is here. No announcements from the chair. I'll look for a motion to accept the minutes of February 14th.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes of February 14th of the Select Board.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I was at that one. Aye. Wasn't at the last one. I forgot the date I wasn't here.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, citizens open forum. Lennox residents are welcome to address the board for up to 2 minutes. So is there anybody in the audience that wants to get up and speak?
Mr. Chairman, may I?
Sure, Franny. State your name.
Francie Sorrentino, Sherwood Drive. Native. Rose, I want to thank you very much for sticking with us at the community center. You've been there 20 plus years and you're a fixture. It means a lot. Kim, I personally want to thank you on behalf of the board for coming out of retirement to dig us out of the weeds and to, move forward here.
My pleasure.
We've been hit with some tough decisions and you did your homework and the board collectively made decisions that weren't easy. And I appreciate that. It's a big deal. That's all I want to say. I want to thank them personally and publicly because it hasn't been easy. She hit the ground running.
Yeah, very well said, Franny, and I couldn't agree with you more that we understand the importance of the community center overall, from young ages up to older ages.
It weighs heavy on our heart, and it wasn't an easy decision to make.
Well, yeah,
But it's a good thing.
that aside, but the entire program and
Yeah,
the whole thing is just
safety comes first.
great.
So I hope you all have a great night. See you now.
Thanks, Fran.
Anybody else? Okay. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Mr. Roach.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, the consent agenda. We have a request from Kate McNulty Vaughn to use the auditorium for the Spring Fix Affair, April 20th, from 1 to 4 p.m. We also have a request from Haley Barbary, requests a one-day all-alcoholic license for an event at Ventford Hall on April 26th from 5 to 9 p.m. A certified bartender will be present. That's the consent agenda, Mr. Chairman.
And everything is in order on that request, so I'll look for a motion.
Kate's not here to talk about the fix.
No,
What happened?
it cut our meeting down by a bit.
I think they might
I
be
will say
traveling.
it's a great event, so.
They
keep it
are
on your
traveling,
calendar.
yeah.
I think Bob and Kate are
Yeah, they
traveling.
are.
Yes.
But I make a motion to accept the consent and as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So now we move to the general business portion of it. You should say that.
Yeah, now we move to the general business portion of it.
I don't know. I get confused whether
It's like
I'm
a
chairman or
vaudeville act
whether
up
I.
No, we have a public hearing for the sewer rate change fiscal year 25, and that was continued from last week, so was the public hearing opened, or?
No.
No.
So we need to read the notice and start the whole thing. If you will, Mr. Roach.
Try to find it here.
I don't think we need to read the notice for this.
I don't think
We just
do
opened
either.
it.
No, we just have to-
Let's make a motion to open a public hearing.
Okay, second.
So I move to open the public hearing.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
So to give us the numbers, I guess we should ask our town manager, Mr.
Sure.
Ketchum, to
So in
fill us in on.
yes, thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board. In a memorandum that was included in the pack for this meeting, posted online with the agenda, you have our recommendation as staff, both myself and Superintendent Gopp, for exactly what we talked about at our last meeting. We find that the water fund is in very good shape with healthy retained earnings year over year. The sewer fund is certainly better than it has been. However, we did telegraph to town meeting that as a consequence of the wastewater treatment plant project, they could expect year over year rate increases. In addition to that, while stable, we see an additional need for an incremental 3% increase on sewer rates. So with the 5% and 3%, it's 8%. So what I've done in a table here is give you what the impact is on the average residential water and sewer bill. So for those customers that are exclusively on water using 25,000 gallons per 6-month semi-annual bill, there's obviously no impact whatsoever. That bill would remain at the $8.22 per thousand, so that would be a $205.50 bill. For those that are on wastewater, your $358.75 bill would go up to $387.45, so it's an increase of $28.70 under this recommendation due to the increase of a rate for wastewater or sewer from $14.35 per thousand gallons to $15.50. So if you're on both, your utility bill increase would reflect about a 5.1% overall, or the full amount of the sewer increase, which is $28.70.
Thanks, Chris. And of course, we knew from, the sewer rates are going to rise rapidly. And it's fair, the sewer users have to carry their portion of the new construction for the wastewater treatment plant. But this isn't a forever, it's not going to go up at this trajectory forever. Can you explain how,
So
one more year maybe?
Yeah, so we've got probably, by our estimates, another year, plus we have debt service, as we reported to town meeting, we have debt service rolling off while we're raising rates. So we're creating headroom to fund a portion of the debt service out of the wastewater fund. We've also been redirecting lodging tax revenue to a debt service stabilization fund at town meeting, which we just created in 2023 and funded. There's about $1.8 million in there right now, and we'll keep adding to that. The debt service isn't projected to come online until the project is completed, and construction hasn't started yet. So we've got a few more years of adding to that stabilization account. Once we have debt service to pay, we'll simply redirect what's going into the stabilization account and what we've been accruing in retained earnings, redirect that directly towards the debt service on the project, with hopefully expect by then to have substantial reserves to compensate for any assumptions that we may have made that didn't come to fruition.
Well, I think that's well presented. Having been the one to present to town meeting the upgrade to the wastewater treatment facility, we heard feedback from members of the public that it was important that there be some sewer rate impact because we're not all on sewer.
Yeah.
And we committed to that. This is consistent with that. And I commend the DPW for managing water well enough that we don't require an increase in water rate, so that the overall impact to people that are on both is as small as can be. So I think this is what we told people we would do. I think people understand that we have no choice in terms of the upgrade to the wastewater treatment facility, and I think the rates are appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too.
Good.
Yeah, and especially having formed the stabilization fund, that's going to reduce any impact going forward so that we can keep rates relatively stable once the debt service starts.
I think the main thing after all these figures have been said, the rates are going to increase under $30 for the year for the average person, and under $30 for the year seems pretty fair.
Yeah, in the scheme of things, it seems pretty darn fair to have.
Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
everything in my life increased $30.
Yeah.
And Chris, I don't know if you would echo this sentiment, but in the process with our big projects that we're anticipating bonding, we've been relatively conservative in our assumptions about bonding rates and whatnot, and it appears, I have no crystal ball, but it appears that the municipal rate environment might improve and is at least stayed pretty darn good so far.
Yeah.
For when we get to that
For
point.
AAA rated credits, we haven't seen it go up nearly what we would expect as like homeowners refinancing or, you know, tapping into a line of credit or obtaining a mortgage. It's not even approaching those levels. So munis have fared well throughout the recent sort of uptick in overall interest rates.
It's interesting. Okay, any other discussion on this subject? So Dave,
So I move to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
And then, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve a water rate of $8.22 per 1,000 gallons and a sewer rate of $15.50 per 1,000 gallons.
Second that?
Any further discussion on it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So the next thing is the intermunicipal agreement for shared buildings department administrative assistant services, Great Barrington, Lee, and Lenox. As everybody knows, we combined our building departments, and this is merely an update in how the benefits are paid and who pays them and the structure, how that works. In the end, we all pay our fair share and that's it. There's nobody, even if you're a host community, you don't get charged more. So it's all even. That's all stipulated in the agreement. So if you can tell what we have to do here now, Chris?
Sure. So as Chairman Lane pointed out, the building commissioner and inspector, so Matt Comer and Ryan Dowd, are already subject to an intermunicipal agreement. What this will do is this will combine the administrative staff. Works slightly different in that there are 4 towns involved in the intermunicipal agreement for the commissioner and the inspector, and the 2 additional inspectors that we are bringing on board soon, hopefully. The administrative assistants there's only 3 towns involved in that, so we have a separate agreement. Lee will serve as the host community for that agreement. There is a clause in here at the end where once Stockbridge is ready to come on board as part of it, they can vote to do so. But they're not ready to move forward. They have another administrative arrangement that they are pleased with at the moment. So it would be just the 3 towns here with the option for Stockbridge to come on board at any time, but we wouldn't look to expand the cost structure. We'd absorb those duties. They're small enough. We could absorb those duties into the larger organization. We're confident.
Right, so basically, we're just cleaning something up. We're just
So we got a 4-town
saying
agreement
who's
for
gonna do
the commissioners. That's off and running and doing quite well. Only 3 right now for administrative staff. But you know, if a 4th comes on, then we have a durable enough agreement that can accommodate that addition.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this makes good sense. It's basically house cleaning.
Yeah.
The only question I was interested in is, have you matched terms in terms of like durations? And, you know, it's going well with the actual inspectors. Now we're adding the admin staff. And I see this is like a 2-year agreement with, you know, opt-outs with different deadlines and things like that. So just wondering if they aligned.
They do. Yeah.
Great.
It's essentially the same structure, just with 3 towns instead of 4.
Understood.
Yeah.
Great.
Anybody else? So, can we get a motion, Dave?
You certainly may. I move to approve the intermunicipal agreement for the building department and administrative services between the towns of Lenox, Lee, and Great Barrington as presented by the town manager.
Second.
Get a second? Second from Neil, and any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Chris, do what you gotta do.
Good work, Chris.
Yes, sir. I'll need your signature, but other than that, we're ready. Or I should say Commissioner Comer is ready. All right.
Now, this is, the next item on general business is something I'm gonna let the town manager again explain and deal with, because we have to do a little bit of reading here. And it's really a very simple thing, we just have to, something we have to do. So why don't you explain it, Chris?
So while we've signaled our intent to go it alone as part of repairs to the middle high school project, nevertheless, it seems prudent to remain in the mix with MSBA. So resubmitting last year's statement of interest in order to remain in that queue, sort of the just in case scenario is what seems to be prudent to both the school committee, superintendent, myself, and hopefully the board here in a couple of minutes. However, it does involve reading a verbatim, rather onerous and involved, which I am happy to do. And then if Clerk Roach wants to so move and Mr. Maximilian second, we should be all set there. Does anyone need a further explanation? I think we all know what we're doing here. Okay, I'll read it then. So the proposed resolution would be resolved. Having convened in an open meeting on March 13th, 2024, prior to the SOI submission closing date, the Board of Selectmen of Lenox, in accordance with its charter, bylaws, and ordinances, has voted to authorize the superintendent to submit to the Massachusetts School Building Authority the statement of interest form dated March 21st, 2024, for the Lenox Memorial Middle and High School located at 197 East Street, Lenox, Massachusetts, 01240, which describes and explains the following deficiencies and the priority categories for which an application may be submitted to the Massachusetts School Building Authority in the future. Priority 1. Replacement or renovation of a building which is structurally unsound or otherwise in a condition of seriously jeopardizing the health and safety of school children where no alternative exists. Movement in walls and floor, exterior walls filled with vermiculite, infiltration into building et al. Priority 3. Prevention of loss of accreditation. Science classrooms last renovated in 1966, no ADA compliant. Do not meet 2018 MSBA specifications for science classrooms et al. Priority 5. Replacement, renovation, or modernization of school facility systems such as roofs, windows, boilers, heating, and ventilation systems to increase energy conservation and decrease energy-related costs in a school facility, 25-year-old roof, windows in 1966 wing, plumbing et al. And priority 7, replacement of or addition to obsolete buildings or in order to provide for a full range of programs consistent with state and approved local requirements. Science classrooms, locker rooms, floor cracking, separation, 20% of teaching faculty do not have their own teaching space at all. And hereby further specifically acknowledges that by submitting this statement of interest form, the Massachusetts School Building Authority in no way guarantees the acceptance or the approval of an application, the awarding of a grant, or any other funding commitment from the Massachusetts School Building Authority, or commits the Lenox Public School District to filing an application for funding with the Massachusetts School Building Authority.
Thank you, thank you. And is,
Can I make one comment?
sure you can.
Right in the first sentence, got March 15th.
Today is March 13th.
No, but it says March 15th.
That last year's, we gave you last year's resolution. Last year it was March 15th, yeah.
Same thing, just different date.
Yeah, I updated the one that Carrie Sullivan will sign and stamp for 2024, which is what I just read.
Right.
Yeah,
This-
good catch though, yeah.
This is 100% merely to keep our place in the queue.
100%.
That's all it is. The heavy work was done 2 years ago. This was just, I go in and change a couple of dates and a couple of numbers. It was very easy to do. And even though the seems the plan we're on, or the path we're on, is much less than we feared several years ago of a brand-new school. You know, doing an addition, classrooms. It seems like the right thing to do. The school building committee's all in agreement, the school board's in agreement, and I think this is the path we'll choose, but it's, but this is just to keep something in there just in case kind of thing.
It's good.
So that was your motion, and I'll just say so moved.
Second.
Discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay. So our next regular meeting will be March 27th, and if we have nothing else, I'll get a motion to adjourn. Peggy, do you have anything?
I understood that the community center board was supposed to be here.
They were here earlier,
It came early and
and it was,
it took off on you.
Okay, because
And it-
I'm at home thinking that the meeting starts at 7, and I would be here at 6:30 because I'm always early. And then I decided, let me check again, and it said 6, and said, oh my gosh.
yeah.
Actually,
But-
I didn't say that word, I said something else.
Everything went fine with all that.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right, well,
yeah.
I'm very sorry,
Yeah.
but I thought that that was taken care of very quickly then.
Yes, it
You
was.
guys are speedy.
Yeah, we got supper waiting.
That's what I've gotta go back and do. All right, take
All
care.
right, take
guys.
care,
Thanks,
Peggy.
Take care, Peggy.
Good seeing you, Clarence.
What?
Yeah, soon.
Yeah, okay. So anybody, any further discussion about anything? Anybody got anything they wanna bring up? Okay. So with that, I'll get a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
See you March 27th.
Excellent.